like to do, I'm gonna kick item 5. 3 and 5 are gonna get, or 5's gonna go in front of 3. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 6. You guys would like to change that, please? Does anybody else have anything else they would like to add or change? Okay, if not, we need to approve the new agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Karen made the first motion to approve the new agenda.
I'll second.
Jason seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Item 2 is our, where we give the public opportunity to speak if they are not on the agenda. And then we see no one is here for that because we do have a few other things with the folks that are here. So we will move on to item 5, the department reports. Dwight, how are things going?
All right, doing dry this year, so we're doing well as far as the sewer end of things. Brian, I got a hold of Derek. Remember I had him come and look at those.
Yep.
He got me a bid. We have some broken cleanouts, which we would have to actually dig up the whole street, and on every one of them, it's on our new matted streets. So one would be going into your grandpa's, and actually there'd be 2 on First Street right by the school where I'd have to dig up the whole street through the fabric. And then that line off the skating pond, that is broke. I'm still gonna have a sag in there, and we'll just have to flush it and do it as a maintenance deal. But he can patch those 2 things without digging up any of those. And I thought it was it come to $18,000. But $18,000 and we're not touching any street work, because the minute you dig through there, you know they're never gonna be the same.
Yeah, it'd be nice to
And,
not disturb it if we don't have to.
right, and, I thought, actually, I didn't think that was that bad for what he's,
On average is $6,000 a piece, I mean, you can hardly
well,
dig a
actually,
hole.
the 8-inch were 30, a little over $3 grand a piece, 39, I think it was. I had the paperwork and I forgot it at home.
Yeah.
But, so I think I'm gonna go that route with that there, that way we won't be messing up any more streets.
Yeah, it's nice.
Especially, it wouldn't be so bad if they were the chip sealed streets, I could justify doing that, but
Right.
you don't wanna wreck the ones that we've already redone.
No, they seem like they've been holding themselves pretty good, so.
So I think I'll accept that bid on him and get that on the way, and then I got John from Pipe Detectives coming down next week. He's gonna come down, we're gonna sit down and discuss some prices and, get together with Insituform about a relining project, see all the money. That's why I was waiting for this bid to come in and see what we got. Be nice to kinda get that part of it done. I know there's a lot of other things that need to be fixed, but that way that would be handled. And then we might be able to fit that in the budget. Should work out this year, so then we should be pretty well tied up on that end of things. So, that's what I've been messing with, getting bids and the normal.
Any
Keep it
questions, council, or Dwight, from you guys? Concerns?
See, there's a Tim Burns here that crushed.
Yeah, somebody caught that with a payloader and did some damage there. He's wearing an orange sweatshirt, I think.
Is he sitting down here?
And he's sitting here. Yeah, when that snow come around the corner and I caught the, inlet. And yeah, we're gonna have to replace that inlet there.
Is that payroll deductible?
Wow, right away.
She should have stayed gone for another meeting, huh?
You have anything else for us, or that's about it?
No, everything's been.
Like you said, yeah, it's been nice.
And then we're waiting on this, we'll be getting together with the engineers here at the middle of the month, end of the month, to see how that money comes in at, whatever. I'll get a hold of you, and Darren will get a hold of you, we'll get that all
We
set up.
gotta have that.
I think it was the 27th.
It was the 27th.
I thought you said, I
Yeah,
thought that's what
I think
it was.
it's-
And then we'll find out if what we get for financing
Of
and,
March,
yeah,
we gotta go up there and have
Yeah, we'll go down.
the video.
Yeah,
just kind of.
they're gonna have a little thing set up. I told Ken that, for sure Dwight and I would be there likely.
No,
You or another member of the council or something, so
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
I think that'll be early afternoon. They don't know exactly what time we'll end up on
Okay.
the docket.
So that's what we got coming up on for that end of things.
Well, with that, thank you for
We got
keeping our sewer
Yep.
systems
operational.
operational, and, cause yeah, we don't realize, like I said, the boys in Burden are going.
There's a lot of people having trouble this year, yeah.
We've
been very fortunate.
Condee's having a little trouble too. I think everybody's just having
Yeah, frost,
a little bit of issues. The frost is so deep,
yeah.
so, everybody, watch your sewer lines. Terry, how are things going on your end?
Pretty good. We had a service leak on Fifth Avenue there on Third Street, and it turned out to be a lead water line, so,
Was that the one over at that house of Nikki's,
yeah.
or where Nikki lives?
I think that was, I'm dealing with them, they live in Texas, so they own it, so. We had to go all the way in the house and just patch it together in 3 spots, cause it kept breaking, it's a real thin lead. So, they still gotta come back and replace part, but they just couldn't get at, there's so much frost there that, and there's wires, so they didn't wanna dig that part till the frost goes out. And it must've been leaking for a couple months, I'd say, before it finally come through, so they had a heck of a time. It was up to here on their knees and then they're down there, just a little rotten. So, we'll probably do the chip seal bids next meeting, the 18th, and gravel folks. Kinda thinking of Krause's edition and 9th Avenue, 8th Avenue, 5th Avenue, the new buildings. They had been in for 4 or 5 years, so. And then them 2 streets Dwight dug up last year, 4th Street and 2nd Avenue. We usually double seal those, we prime them first and then double seal them right away, and then it's been holding up pretty good that way, so. Then I wanted to get Main Street done too, but we'll have to wait for that till next year, judging by the prices, I think, they're coming in, so. Cause we gotta buy prime oil and seal oil this year. So, other than that, everything's been going good.
Yeah.
Council, you guys have any questions for Terry? Okay, well, with that, thank you guys.
Alright.
Thanks for
Yep.
keeping the snow off the streets.
See you guys.
Did good today, huh?
Yeah, yeah. See you guys. Come on in, Todd.
Okay.
What do you got for us?
Going to Hecla tomorrow to their city council meeting.
What?
Going to Hecla's city council meeting tomorrow,
Okay.
just keep you in the loop. They have a project up there that they might have to do and they're lost. And they have the money. They asked about it.
Okay. Well, let's know what's going on.
Yep.
So, how's everything you've been doing with electrical?
Good. The excavator should be delivered to Aberdeen this week. Got it on big basket from Grand Forks this week, so should be there, should have it probably next week.
Did we have a power surge or something? One of my clocks, I might have bumped it.
No, mine are blinking in my shop too.
One clock was blinking for some reason.
Yeah.
Wind.
Okay.
When, that might not have even been us, it might have been Northwestern, East River, but it's kind of spotty around for us. I would say trees. For a couple months. And we saw it at the shop once, saw it flicker at the shop once, twice.
As it comes back on, that's all that matters. Council, any questions for Todd?
Do we have any, what did we ever decide, between meter situation?
Have you gotten this?
Still waiting on the third one.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he'd have it, he actually thought he would have it Friday, but it didn't come through. So we're waiting on
Some
the third
information.
one. Yep. He's hoping that Landis and Gear, Irby guys are gonna be here at the next council meeting, do a little 15-minute. And he's hoping to have it between now and then, so you guys can see it before they get here. So that's, hoping.
The other quotes that we got from the other,
Panelists,
yeah, are those any good still or not so much?
what do you mean by good?
Well, they gave us them and they were based on us making a decision in a certain time frame, and I think
Oh.
we're outside of that time frame. So,
I expect that will be fine.
okay.
I told him that we would, in like May, we made a decision.
Okay.
So, and there's a couple differences in their quote, but all three are the same basic working type system. Just little points in it, and which one you Tantalus didn't include the water part. That's okay. I don't know if you're gonna wanna do the endpoints on the water meters anyway. That's up to you guys, how much you wanna spend, if you wanna spend it. Yeah, when I get them, I'll make sure that that's them out to you guys.
Okay. Do you have anything else for us, or?
Oh, thanks, that's
Okay, well, thank you for everything you do for us, we
Thank you,
appreciate
you guys help a lot
keeping
too.
the power on, and probably be able to put that hooping excavator to work the way it sounds, huh?
Dwight already did something to use it, so what can I say?
He wants to be the first to use it, evidently.
Yeah. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Everything seems to be going pretty well in the finance office. I had to do a little jump start on the annual report this year. I needed some stuff for the wastewater project, so I've been doing a lot of that stuff. So it'll probably be an earlier presentation of the annual report this year, which is nice on my end. It clears up a little bit in the spring. So that's been a good chunk of that. Other than that, just working with the wastewater stuff and getting some bids prepared for, chat with Brian yesterday to get the city hall painting stuff going. Just make sure we're good to go for the year. Seems to be going pretty well.
I stopped by and talked to Doug this week a little bit about health insurance. I think we're gonna try and review health insurance for when the renewal time comes around, because their health insurance is really not good.
And I did try to look into South Dakota Health Pool this year, and the costs were somewhat similar. It was through Walmart Blue Cross Blue Shield, which would have been better insurance. The problem that I had was the single family coverage. The single person coverage went up while family coverage went down, which I thought was kind of odd. Kind of a big cost that was doing that. And then it was more for, if I remember right, it was more for a spouse, like having a spouse that was having kids, and so it just got really wonky. And then our renewals ended up being so cheap for this current one, so we just kept it that. Hopefully we get that claim return. So that's the other thing too, because South Dakota Health Pool didn't have a claim return. So what you don't use, you don't get back. Whereas this current one that we're on through South Dakota Retailers Allied, you do get a return for the use of every claim. So, but yeah, I agree. Aaron and I are gonna sit down this summer sometime and see if we can find something just like maybe similarly as cost effective, but maybe a little bit better insurance coverage wise. I know I have enough of a headache just going to Sanford. I have to get balance billed every time when we get a hold of the Allied and go through a whole rigmarole system to even get the cover it. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much going on in our office.
Any questions, council, for Doug? well, thank you, Doug, for, keeping things situated down here and, helping the public out when they come in, that's all. All right. We got a discussion regarding, property at 105 North Third Street to Groton Development Corporation.
Thank you.
Go ahead, you have the floor.
All right, I'm Mike Shulhanick, I'm the Vice President of the Groton Development Corporation. This is in very preliminary stages, but we kind of wanted to check what the pulse of the city was. What our idea, and the reason why we pushed it a lot sooner than I expected, because the city of Aberdeen, they're trying to build an activity center similar to what we've been talking in JDC for the last couple months. What we would do, depending, and this is just preliminary, I don't want to waste our time, as I don't want to waste your guys' time either with going through and getting plans and everything developed and meeting with the different daycare providers in town, but the activity center would be more of like an indoor playground. So Somerset, South Dakota has one. It's just a pole barn, and they have like playground inside during the colder months. They paid for theirs within 1 year of use. Minneapolis is putting 2 more up. Aberdeen's trying to do another one. We think it's a great location in Groton because you have a lot of the smaller towns nearby, and the daycare providers could use it to have more kids. They could have like a key code access to go in, and we would just clean it throughout the time. It would allow for additional summer or like Christmas break employment for the kids to work there, but didn't know if that would be any interest of the city to do a transfer of that property or any other property, so we could get it built sooner than later.
Any questions, council?
No, we're not requesting the transfer now.
Yeah, no, we were just discussing it. And I guess we may discuss it a little further, you just kind of hit us with it, so we need to, talk about it and analyze it and see what everybody has to say.
So this would be, you're thinking like a 1-story kind of open area where kids could just go in and, or would it be sectioned off for different activities like a ball pit, basketball, I mean like do you have any?
Yeah, so initially, and depending on what the community center costs,
Right.
I know you guys talking about doing some rehab work and everything there. Depending on how much that could be, it could be built much bigger and have like a 2-story type
Right.
place where over time you could move in the pantry, you could move in the thrift store area and have like a playground set, ball pit, tunnels on one side, and then up above where the pantry and storage could be later in like a youth center. For older
Sounds similar to
kids.
kind of what Britain Penn has right now.
I haven't been to Britain's.
They have something like that where you can rent out for parties, and they have like basketball court and stage there.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a basketball court in there just because the basketball courts, that takes up a lot of area.
Yes.
Like we could put maybe like a smaller batting cage or something in there that could be taken down. Like there's so many possibilities on the design aspect. We're gonna bring in the daycare providers probably in 2 months to kind of get their pulse on what was needed. The long-term goal of it would be, and we kind of talked about it at the last JDC meeting that we had, potentially would be to get the thrift store, the pantry in one location, and potentially this could move over to the old city hall, and then this could be like a full-time daycare. But that would be like a 5 to 10 year plan, not a year to 3 year plan. So it'd be similar to what Redfield did with their Wells Fargo. And then we could have a certified daycare, which I'm sure. Those are all preliminary discussions.
While you're here, I wanna put a bug in your ear, but I don't know, someone told me that, I believe that Roger Ricks oversees the Masonic building down here, and that would be another maybe option too for daycare. Cause I think they meet in there once a month, and that's all that building is utilized for, as far as I know, so that might be something that the,
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. I wish I would talk to him tomorrow.
that they could, look into, but that, I don't know how that would, I don't know, other than that one meeting of the women, and I don't know that the women meet that. I don't know how strong their organization is right now, or how often they use it, but that might be another avenue for moving things around, just FYI.
Yeah. And that would be in
While you're thinking
like a
about it.
phasing, staging.
Yeah,
approach.
sure.
You know, I hate to tell you this, but would you want City Hall to go back over there?
No, he said, no, that's not it. You didn't-
Potentially the city hall.
Did they-
City Hall move back over there?
Yeah, that's
That
what he
would be
said
one of
here.
them. That would be,
That, I don't think is gonna happen.
yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you, you know, I
And
mean,
then
I
this
thought
would be a
we've done
daycare,
really
is that
good
what
with
you're
our
saying?
library, and I'm really impressed with how the ladies do what they did. And bringing the kids in and hopefully teaching them some things, but boy, that's almost like stepping backwards.
I thought you said put
for-
this daycare at the
these
old City
guys.
Hall, but
No.
you're talking about
No,
putting
no,
daycare
that would be the
here?
activity center over there. So like even the library could move over.
It'd be
by the
like us
activity
shutting the
center.
new gym down and making them go back into the old gym and play basketball.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
No,
man,
I'll
you're,
build a better
you're looking
gym.
at a little bit of, opposition here.
Right.
We got, this was kind of a godsend. And after I see everything that's in here, it's like, how'd you guys get all that stuff in that little office? But if you ever had walked in the back room, it was like this. And then we weren't able to have this kind of stuff where we got wall room to do a few things, but, yeah, I know a few people think this is a little overkill, but, we think there are a few functions going on in here, doing some ladies, have some
Yeah,
stuff
and
once in a
I
while.
just wanna replay this in my head, cause I wanna make sure that I understand what you're saying too. So that this space right here, you're thinking would be for a community center?
No,
You would move
uh,
that over, or?
the original plan that was put forward would be just to build an activity center. In
And
the
then
green
where would you
space.
put the pantry and the?
Well, that's
store?
if the community center, you guys have talked about doing a bunch of repairs, redoing the roof,
Uh-huh.
all that, and it's an aging facility, so if it's 30 to 50,000 to fix that, you could just build a bigger unit and have more space for everything to be in one location. That's newer. You can't. If you tried to do anything with that kitchen, you would never pass any inspection. So the people that go in and do anything in the kitchens, that has to be all on them. You can't do it.
Okay,
So it would just be an activity center for now. But I wouldn't put $100,000 in the community center.
I don't think we are putting $100,000 in the community center. We're repairing the roof, and that's gonna be covered under the insurance, and we are gonna do a few upgrades to it, but I don't think it's near,
Here, that.
Not even 30,000.
Money getting involved in this.
that's just, sometimes it's just maintenance on things where you gotta update your siding and windows and doors and things.
Yeah.
It's a good little building, it has great bones, it's just some things need to be updated on it.
Just needs a little TLC, I thought, yes.
I mean, if this space doesn't work, I know, the main reason to come about and do it is it's a good project selling point to be able to generate revenues. And that's the main reason for why we're pushing it. We don't wanna be a development corporation that has to ask the few businesses we have in town to keep supporting it. We wanna try to develop partial self-sustaining. So, if that area won't work, we'll look elsewhere.
You said the city of Somerset?
Somerset.
You said they pay for theirs in a year. How did they pay for theirs a year? What was that?
They have a fee structure, and that's what we would develop as well. So they had it so they had someone staff there all the time. I wouldn't. Like if I wrote a business proposal today, I would have key access where families could pay for access where they could access it 24 hours a day. And daycare providers would pay more, but they would be under their liability. So they would just have a blanket insurance to cover for accidents, but they would have to oversee the children.
So if a daycare would come to this building once a day, is there a fee that you would charge the daycare? Like
We-
$20, $30 or 40?
Yeah, they would be charged for, it would be a monthly or yearly fee.
Okay.
You could
What-
do daily, but
yeah.
if you did daily, it'd be more than a monthly or a yearly fee, just basic rate schedule. Yeah, so if you wanna look at,
So it's set up similar to a gym that just has passcodes and you pay your monthly rate.
yeah,
Pretty
or like a
similar.
fitness center, or really anything like that. So it's called Run Wild Indoor and Outdoor at Somerset.
What's it called?
Run Wild. So they've got a breed schedule.
Maybe it should be called like Be Good and
Behave.
Yeah.
Be, what's the word I'm looking for? Be Good and Be, I can't find it right now. Be Good.
Yeah, they were pushing pretty hard to bring it to council just because there was a lot of push fundraising efforts that are gonna get started in Aberdeen. We're gonna try to leverage, that, hey, we've got land, why don't you work with us?
By Rapid.
You trying to like target more of the younger, like,
Yep,
yeah.
to start with anyway.
Yep.
You know, cause we talked, I don't know, the first few meetings I went to, everybody talked about how childcare was so difficult in Groton. That
Oh, what?
how childcare was so difficult in Groton. I don't know if that
Then
study
they
is
have
ever.
childcare at home, I mean, I suppose it'd be nice place for them to go and burn off some steam.
You have a winter you can't get out. In the summer it's a little different unless it's excessively hot.
It looks kind of like an elevator.
We don't wanna spend money to design something that we can't do something.
10, 11 kids would have to be on the vehicle.
Yeah.
So what would happen, say, if the city did donate that land to you guys? You guys gonna take charge of what goes on?
Yep. And hopefully we'd be able to hire a full-time person to do grants and manage it.
This your phone?
I don't know,
Yeah.
my phone got somewhere.
Okay, well, we'll discuss this and, see, what everybody has to say about it. And we'll go from there and we'll let you know.
Sounds good.
But
You guys-
we appreciate the idea and.
Yeah, it's a nice concept.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's a pole barn.
So, nothing cheap in building.
Nah. Cheapish.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions, council? Are you guys good? You good, Mike?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thanks guys.
Thanks, Mike.
We're gonna move on to item 4. We need a liquor license transfer for Red Horse Inn. I don't know if any of you guys are aware, but I believe it changed ownership.
Oh, really?
So it's a contract for deed, with
Or,
Mr. Keith Landwehr. He does business as American Grain LLC. I don't know what his intent is in the end, but he would like a liquor license transferred over to him and see what he can do with it.
Does that stay with the building?
The liquor license, it actually stays with the person. So, what, actually, we own, as a city, we own the license.
So
and we
he can't
sell.
just like, he has to keep it in Groveland, right?
yeah,
Like he can't take it.
He can't take that liquor
somewhere else.
license somewhere else. Nope, it's just a municipal liquor license.
It's just to this address, correct?
Right,
Well,
yeah.
that's
it
what
would-
I was wondering, if it, is
Yeah.
it location related or is it?
Yes, he wouldn't be
person?
able to open multiple locations or another location elsewhere.
He can't move it to
Uh,
another location.
He would have to reapply with a different license in a different location. So it would be a reapplication.
I just wanted to make sure.
But yeah, at this point, I think his intent is to kind of run a home base for his business, and then possibly on the side, kind of run that restaurant and bar. That's kind of what I grasped out of it, but I haven't had a lot of conversation with him. I do know Darren seems pretty excited to pass this out.
have you had a chance to
Sale for you.
look into this fella and he has
From what I can, from what I can see in South Dakota, he's
Everything
fine.
not
He's
like
in Minnesota.
Not like the problem that we had the last one.
They own a dairy.
Nothing where I can look him up if he gets a national news.
Okay.
Nothing.
No warrants or?
No, nothing like that. But it's not to say he doesn't have something in Minnesota that would stop him from
There's no
and they'll
felonies,
pick that
nothing.
at the Department of Revenue. I did what I could on my end with South Dakota, but I mean, if they flag him the DOR, then he'll get denied. I'll keep you posted on that too, but if it gets approved.
If for some reason that this goes back to Lisa and Darren, because it's a purchase, like a deed, where you're buying it along the way, this would transfer back to them then, correct?
This would be-
If he wanted it, it would eventually, we would probably hold it and just would have
I
a
would
business
say-
to run it out of, and it would probably just lapse.
I would say if Keith defaults on paying Darren and Lisa, his liquor license should probably go back to where
Yeah, it would,
should go back to,
it would hold with them, or it would stay with the city, it's just an available license.
or we could take it, or we could take
Yeah.
possession of it.
Okay.
We would probably, if Darren didn't want it, we would
Right.
probably just hold it at that point, and it would just be one available liquor
I
license.
just wanna make sure it's not floating around.
Nope, it wouldn't be floating, it would come right back into our possession, and then whoever else rolls into town, I suppose.
You can't, so it's not like Aberdeen, where you can hold liquor license even though you don't own a business anymore, right? Like Aberdeen, there's a lot of liquor licenses, or a
Right,
few
that's
of
why I
them.
would
You have to have a
make sure
sales
it's not
tax
just hanging
license
on.
that matches with it, so you have to have that with it. You
Okay.
could technically probably operate under their license as an agent essentially. Would recommend it.
Cause there's liquor licenses in Aberdeen that haven't been used in years.
And they
are
just
worth
hold their
$1 million
licenses.
or whatever, I mean.
Is that like forever, once they have the license, it's forever? I mean, or is it renewed every?
They renew it, and
year,
then
2 years?
it's a yearly renewal, so if it comes a point where you decide you don't want to allow the renewal to take place.
We have
I-
control over not renewing the
Yep.
license.
So they sign a lease agreement with us as
Yeah,
well.
that's
so-
every year we go through.
Yep, it's an
That's where
an
we
annual lease.
Approve it, and if there's problems,
Okay.
Yep.
we have the option to,
To withdraw. Yep.
yeah.
If there's a problem early, you can take it back to,
Right, yep,
well,
we hold the, yeah, hold the top of it.
Well, I guess, then, basically what, you want us to transfer it tonight then?
Yep, I think that was the intent.
Okay.
And then I'll send it off to the Department of Revenue, and it's in their hands at that point.
Well, I guess I don't see no problem with this, from what we've discussed here, so we need a motion to, approve, the liquor license transfer, from Darren and Lisa Locke, to Keith Landwehr,
Landwehr, I think, so.
Landwehr,
Yeah.
who's gonna be in possession of Cobos, or Retos, I'm sorry.
I'll make the first motion to approve the liquor license transfer.
Kevin made the first motion,
I'll second that.
John seconded it, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried.
I have one question on that.
Yeah,
So if we approved it tonight, and then in 6 months from now, we approve him again, then he's up for another year at the renewal process, is that right?
Correct.
Because if we're in between the year, then
Right.
we're approving him until the approval process, and then at
So
the
he-
approval
yep, he
process, he would
approves-
re-up another year.
Yep. Similar to what happened last year with
So it
Stumble.
wouldn't be a year from today?
No.
It would be a year?
It would be whenever the current license expires. He's basically taking control over the beer and license license.
So if you met this guy,
Yeah.
is he a younger guy, older guy?
I'd say he's upper 30s, early 40s.
that depends on who's asking. Me, it's probably a younger guy.
Kevin's right. They did a couple carries.
No, but he seems like a nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, item 6, our baseball scoreboard discussion. You have anything for us with that, Jason?
Yeah, they've been looking into they had problems with these boards last year, and during the season, they would just quit, and I think they had some people doing some soldering on them, and just to try to get them to go, and it sounds like there's intermittent issues all year long. And it's on the 2 small fields. So they did some digging into it, and of course, nothing's cheap. But basically, they're saying the controllers have to be replaced in them. And those controllers are $2,300 a pop, so there's 2 scoreboards, so it's on those smaller fields. So they decide to check into pricing too, to see what it is for a new scoreboard versus just fixing them. And the prices are all, I think they're all on there, right?
Yep. What's the size of scoreboard out there right now?
They are the 3x6, so they're the 2515s. So they're the smaller of these 3 options right now that are out there. So I said, yeah, I'd just bring it to your attention. I think nobody knew it was gonna be that, they thought it was gonna be a simple fix and a few $100. So that's why they wanted to bring it to our attention, because it's a significant amount just to fix them, so.
For Legion and amateurs, they don't need the time drill yet, do they?
Well, they were kinda talking about some of that stuff too in the
We're
smaller
gonna go to that in
fields.
the future or not?
I don't know about that.
What was your question,
Well, they
Kevin?
give you time for in between each pitch, they do this to
Oh,
keep the
yeah,
game
yeah,
along,
yep.
so they don't take
Yep.
too long of time.
Yep,
I don't think they have in Legion and amateurs yet, but for us,
And that's what they're, cause these scoreboards are 20-some years old or whatever. So, I'm assuming if you're gonna do it, you're gonna wanna do it right, so you
Yeah.
cover all your bases.
Yeah.
but are they talking about going to pitch, pitches?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything on that.
Right, because if they wanna do any state or any of that stuff, they'll need them if that's what they go. for.
yeah, I was gonna say, we'd have a state tournament, I wonder if they would do that.
And this group's pretty aggressive, so they're gonna, they want to continue to grow the program, so.
Like the little fields, you wouldn't need the time,
Yeah, and these would be the 2 little fields that they're looking at.
all of these are.
Yeah, this isn't the big field.
What'd you say, Jason?
These are the 2 little fields
Oh,
that they're having issues
no,
with.
okay, not
I
that.
believe so.
So this 2515 one is similar to what they have out there?
Yep, that's what, yeah.
Is the Legion or the Foundation planning to put any money into these, either one of these?
I think they would like to go with the bigger boards, so I think, yeah, I'd assume if they were looking at something like that, then
The
maybe
bigger
upgrading
board,
them,
the bigger board for the small fields or for the main field? Or
No, these would be on the smaller field, so yeah, they talked about maybe possibly upgrading them to a bigger board. Then I think if you did that, maybe they'd be willing to, you know, offset that
Yeah,
upgrade or
so you
something.
got a different sheet than us.
Yeah, here, I got some extra ones here.
Oh,
Okay,
you
I
got
was
one.
gonna say, you're losing me.
Okay, no, that's fine, yeah, but if we decide to give them X amount of money, I'd like to know the Legion and Foundation are not putting into it.
So are they kind of leaning towards that 25-18? The middle one?
Is that
Yeah,
what
they are, but
I-
it's just that.
Yeah, I think they're
it's
up to
a
what
sheet
to do with it.
different.
What's that?
I think they're
No,
just
there's
trying to
nothing
figure out
on
what
the
we
back
would be
of
willing
this
to do
one.
with it first, and
Because the little field probably wouldn't need the time.
no, probably not.
Unless
Yeah,
they
no, I
have-
just.
Unless they have something for the pass pit,
Sorry.
for the softball girls, I don't know if they have anything on that.
I don't know. I know they've been looking into a lot of different things now, cause that fast pitch is getting to be a big deal.
That might be the question, then, if they have time for that, for the high school girls
There's,
softball.
there's only one,
That must be
on the big field, it's
five.
just the one scoreboard, right?
Big field has just
New
one.
one, Major League, that they give,
And of course, that
what,
one's gonna be
35
two,
seconds
but,
or 20?
these would just be the ones that are, and I think they're, yeah, they measure them 3.6 or whatever, so.
Like I said, I could see the Legion field going to
Even the mayor
27-18
watching
with
the
the time
time
here.
here.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I think it's,
But if they think the fast pitch is gonna be a thing,
can we just
And
do
it's
softball
that
fields?
time.
you know,
So are they proposing that the city council pay for the entirety of the scoreboard, or are they going to contribute in any other form or fashion?
well, I think they're just bringing it to our attention, cause it's city property, so, just where we wanna spend our money, you know?
what's the condition of the big field
Yeah,
scoreboard? How old is that?
I think it's up there too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
So if we're gonna do them, could we get like a break if we do all three of them? I mean,
Who's this from, Dexter,
This is
Dexter,
Dak, yeah.
Dextronics out of, Brookings? Or,
Yeah, like, you know, I was talking to Doug too, it's like, I think if we'd have caught it earlier, we could've got it more in the budget and,
we've spent a lot of money out there in the next few couple of years, you know, this is gonna hit us hard too. So, but I get,
but
sounds like
it's,
it's about necessary.
yeah, I'd hate to throw, you know, $4,300 or $4,600 at it, you know, and then still have an old system,
Yeah,
that's the problem.
cause it's,
Well, you do something, you can buy boards, so compare the old ones, throwing good money at bad money essentially.
well, the new boards will all have the new technology, so you can, it's all run by iPad. So you can connect to an iPad, so it's all, eventually I'm sure all that system will be able to tie into, you know, all the software that's out there too, to keep track.
Does these prices, are the pricing by one or three? If you discount by 2 or 3 or whatever?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
what-
probably don't care.
No, you know,
Here's
it's
our
almost something
price.
here, but
They know they're gonna get it one way or the other, yeah, I don't know what that big one would cost, but if it's this one here.
If they go with the bigger scoreboard, we're gonna have to redo the posts and stuff and then.
Wasn't that?
Some of the
isn't-
comments kinda allude to that,
isn't
like,
that the
That's
big
what
one
Jackie
right there?
says down the top of that one, that we may need to change the
I don't know
existing
if
beams
it's
to
big,
meet
it's
the
all
guidelines.
I don't know if they're talking about the big ones.
yeah, so, yeah, the big scoreboard has a lot more to that.
Does it? So there's one bigger than 5x10x8, huh?
Yes. No, no,
Is that the big
Well, yeah, they were just looking at this, the smaller one, I'm not sure that big field what that all has on it, I guess.
You
Do you know
know,
what's
it,
out there, Paul? Do you know how big the big scoreboard is? No.
Yeah, I don't know if Daktronics does deals or not.
is the foundation willing to put any into it or not, or, I mean,
I don't know. And I suppose ultimately,
we're willing to,
it's become city property, but, you know, if you wanna upgrade it, then maybe do something like that, you know what I mean? They can raise some money for that or something. But,
So they're thinking they wanna do the 2 smaller fields for sure this year is what they're
yeah,
kind of.
cause they were just shutting down.
nothing's wrong with the big one just yet.
Not yet, but
Yeah, probably
they're
clear
developed
it.
this
It'd be
way.
right behind it, it'd be right behind the other.
But that might be one to look at next year, you know. I
Is
mean,
there a time frame on getting these?
I think they can get them in there before the I think they're trying to want to get them before the season starts.
Why don't we do two this year and then one next year, the big one next year, whatever.
It could be two
I
others.
mean, if it's not broken, why would we
Yeah.
don't need to replace it if it's not broken?
No,
Can we utilize the old ones at the soccer field?
well, you
Just
get,
ask it here, because that'll be the next thing, maybe.
But if they're not operational, I would say we
Well,
don't put something broken in.
I'm trying to be,
Thrifty.
I suppose you
Ooh,
could
yeah.
probably you could probably piece them together between the two, you know, and maybe get
Light
by.
sockets and
But,
Yeah.
switches.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
We have some electrical people that work.
but yeah, they were doing some soldering out. They were pretty,
Go on, electrical.
yeah. And ultimately, they were saying
Don't you dare
you just need to
tell
replace the controllers.
I don't think the soccer field is one, it doesn't have the
That's a
time, it
quick
don't
argument
have,
right there.
you
I don't think
know,
there's anything on there at
it
work.
doesn't have the time clock, it doesn't have any of that for soccer, I don't think they'd want it,
Okay.
you know, it just doesn't.
I think it becomes a memorabilia, or somebody hangs it up in their garage.
Well,
or
we
something.
tried to save the other one for the soccer field, that,
We're doing this, most money gets it.
I don't think that would
Yeah,
do
you
it.
could probably,
Take them down and make an auction them off at the next
yeah,
April in April,
whatever they
maybe they do
want.
it this April and see what they raise. And money can go towards new ones and money.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, somebody will buy them just for
Nostalgia.
nostalgia, but.
So what's out there right now is 3x6, and nobody's complaining about the size or anything like that.
We could get one for our poker league where it says everything on it.
I think you look at the base model, and if they really wanna upgrade them,
Here's what we're gonna give you.
I think that's be fair.
I think that's more than fair. If they want to upgrade them, they certainly can. Here's your
Cause it
base
isn't,
model.
it isn't for the next.
What, up to-
$49.85.
Upgrade the old ones
No. If we give them, if we replace the two little ones
with,
for $5,000 each, basically,
yeah,
and if the Foundation of the Legion wanted to get the next size bigger,
oh, okay, they could kick in.
they could kick in and cover it if they wanted to.
Okay, yep.
I don't see a problem doing it that way. So, ultimately, I guess it is our property out there, and if it's not working properly, it's our responsibility to keep it updated.
And I think they could raise that money probably off the scoreboards, probably.
I think so too, yeah.
And then next year, maybe we can look at that field and
Give a nice look. Yeah.
that one, just put it up.
Maybe even apply for a grant for that one. See, they with the Rainwater Conservation Fund grant for that, for baseball.
To be honest, I thought these were gonna be a lot more money than,
I just do.
Yeah, $5,000 isn't much.
no.
I mean,
Not for a board,
no,
not
it's
really.
probably not a lot to it, some relays.
They have a lot of, yeah, I don't wanna get too deep, cause we had a lot on the agenda, but they got a lot going on out there.
What's that?
They have a lot going on out there, you know, these tournaments, D12.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice scoreboard.
And then if they can include the controllers, move
Yeah,
everything
I
off
think
their
you said they
iPhone
run
or
it
their
with an
iPad or
iPad.
something like that, it's,
Okay.
the technology's right.
Now the technology's gonna be in them.
Because you don't have to buy the controller separate of his iPad.
This would be included, and then you connect to it with a,
I think it's a good thing to replace the two small ones.
Do you wanna take it back to them before we vote on it and see what they say, or do you want?
Or see if they think that, fast pitch is gonna be, they're gonna need them.
well, yeah, I can check with them, but we could always approve the base, or, yeah, I guess it is. on
We
the
could approve
agenda. We could approve the base tonight, and
Yeah.
If they want to
that
kick
work
in,
for them.
kick in
Let's see if they
$1,000.
wanna do upgrade or what their opinion is, but I guess, yeah, like you said tonight, we can approve.
Can we approve that with just discussion, or do we?
Yeah,
We should be able to.
Okay.
Can we approve that, Drew? Where we're talking about our baseball scoreboard discussion, we're gonna actually
It's a budget.
move on it.
I'm already gonna have to supplement some stuff this year, so I can just add that in as a supplemental.
Okay.
We can make it, make it kosher. It's definitely there, it's just not, of course, in the right spot right now, but I can put it in the right spot. I'll have it I'll work up the supplemental for the next meeting.
Yeah, I don't think it's very feasible to fix something for $2,300 each and have something still whole. Not when you can do things off your phone a lot easier. That's how things are done anymore, unfortunately. Fortunately, you're
Trying to
unfortunately-
modernize a bit.
Yep.
So in this one, they do talk about pitch count at least, so it must be kind of looking at the next.
We might,
If we can wait,
Want a discussion, we can make a motion on a discussion. can't we?
yeah. Yeah, we can make it,
okay.
We can,
yeah.
okay.
All right, well, I'm good with that, you guys, if everybody's okay with that, to go with the small one, and we can talk to, the
It's all right, waste
Yeah.
before the-
the board and see if they wanna upgrade. If they do, then we'll pay for the small one, and they'll have to pick up the rest.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough, or
Is everybody okay with that? Okay, then we're gonna have a motion that we're gonna, get two of the smaller scoreboards for the baseball field, for the two small fields, correct? And, after Jason talks to the baseball board, if they wanna update them, fine, if not, if they do update them, that's on them, extra cost. And, so, okay, we need a motion for that.
we'll make the first motion.
Jason made the first motion,
Second.
Karen seconded it, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Item 7, Doug is gonna put out,
We need that.
bids.
Jason, we need that.
Doug is gonna put out bids for, 3-year garbage contract.
So, last time we did this, Doug,
I actually pulled that off of the automatic one, so streets can't even handle it.
I don't think
that's Terry's
anybody would
position
be
on
up
it.
for the square garbage you pick up, so, and like you said, our streets, when we gotta keep the garbage truck off, and
And the weakest spots are edges, and that's where they're gonna
Yeah.
have to go. So Terry agreed that just have them manual pickup, and then maybe in the future, once we upgrade streets down the line, we can handle it, but at this point, we would be ripping up the streets and causing more problems.
We got a big enough garbage truck one way it is. But yeah, that automatic one's not.
And yeah, I don't think this is at this point, really.
Everybody likes this way,
And Heartland works with you really well. I mean, if they apply, of course, if they bid it out again, I would imagine they probably will, but I know they're wonderful with picking up almost about anything.
Do
They're
they
pretty
have a
close.
smaller garbage truck that they could use in like this time of the year, that we could put in here that, during this time of year that they,
I can certainly, I mean,
rather than everybody bringing their garbage to the, you know, if they do have smaller garbage trucks.
I can certainly ask them to see if that's an
So
option.
we just put it in the contract now to stop it from happening, and they're gonna have to figure a way to pick it up without wrecking the streets.
how long do we usually do this for though,
sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's a month and a half.
Depends on the weather and the
Yeah.
moisture we
As
have.
long as we
yeah.
have road restrictions on,
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be May 1st probably.
At least.
deep into
Or-
it.
I would
First
ask them if
is-
they got any smaller equipment. I mean, I think we should put it in our contract before we send it out, so people aren't having to continue to do this forever. I mean,
It's a little
there's
bit
gotta be a better
smaller.
option.
And it
And like you
does,
said, there's garbage blown all over because of it. It's, I mean, it just makes sense to bring in smaller
Either
equipment
that
to
or
do the
what
job.
we should ask is maybe he could provide us with a few dumpsters. I don't know how many that would take.
It still requires everybody to
The
take
worst
their
thing
garbage
about a
out.
small truck is you're not gonna get a good payload.
No, that's why they have the big trucks.
You
they
know, and
can
I don't
dump.
know if you could
Okay.
transport from a small truck to a big truck where at least with dumpster sites, it won't be blowing around.
They could probably put those at the bus barn, cause that's
Well,
easy on, easy
there are a
off.
few, but
Yeah.
a few more would be
Right. Helpful.
helpful, you know, cause I can see where everybody's putting their garbage, if we could have one maybe every third block or second block. You might need the route for sure. So I don't think there's anything west of 37, is there, for pickup? 37 is our west line, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been dumpsters in the past there.
I see one was there today.
Is there one today?
On one corner there was, I can't tell you which corner, but there was a dumpster.
Like John Gustafson's,
Pardon?
John Gustafson's.
I,
Might have been the ones in the village apartments, I bet.
Oh,
I bet you they,
but that's what you're right.
I think the city picks them up and takes them to the street.
oh, so I don't know, that would maybe be an option, I don't know.
Currently, right now, we do have all other contract provisions shall be negotiated between the city and successful bidder, but I could probably pop that down to 14 and add a line 13 that says alternative. Word it somehow, but have it, you know, have an alternative for when there are load limits, like a smaller truck. I could find a way to word it, make it sound.
That'd be ideal if they have one, I
if
don't
they
know
have
if they do.
This week, the bid probably be higher,
Yeah.
because you need to charge more, you don't have to haul as much.
Could be, but I guess as long as it's in there, everybody's gotta follow it, so.
That's what,
Right.
years ago garbage was picked up 2 different days. I think Thursdays and Tuesdays or something like that years ago.
It was.
No, I can,
That was just one day.
when we, yeah, when we move forward to approve it, I can add that. We'll just specify that, you know, by the discuss the specifications before I send it out.
If they have them.
Yeah, or I can just reach out to Heartland and see if
I
it's
just
an option.
reach out before you have money
I,
down.
I would reach out to them and see what
Okay,
they say.
and then if, yeah, need be, I can modify the specs, or maybe they'll just be one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put in here not to, put no automatics? The reason we had somebody bid it only with automatics?
So the reason we did was somehow,
A1, I think.
Yeah,
we had an alternative option, so I deleted the alternative option.
okay.
So there was actually option A and option B. Option B removed all of this other stuff and just ran with an automated service. And, yeah, because it was A1 Sanitation that bid that out 3 years ago.
Yeah. That's been 3 years already?
Yep.
Oh. Jesus.
It really does.
But yeah, I'll reach out to her.
That's why I figured with a 3-year contract, at least we
It
can
does.
try now to find out.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Well, it's kind of what-
Fresh in our minds,
That's
so.
kind of what number 12 says anyways, isn't it?
What's that, John?
Number 12 kind of says that anyways, maximum capacity of garbage trucks cannot exceed 20 yards unless equipped with a steering tag axle. Shall comply with all state, county, and city garbage haul requirements specifications. So like if they're not, they can't be over load limits anyways,
That's correct.
so.
So I wrote to just, that's off, maybe, I don't know.
God, that belly's pretty big on them trucks. I don't know if it's bigger than 20 yards.
But, I don't know.
I'll reach out.
I would just let them know we're having difficulties with the roads and stuff, and we just wanna, and with people being able to get garbage to where it needs to be.
Alrighty, item 8, authorization. What's that?
We need to authorize it.
Okay, we need a motion to, give Doug authorization to, bid out the 3-year garbage contract.
I'll make first motion on that one.
Ryan made the first motion,
I'll second that.
John seconded it, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Item 8, authorization to bid, exterior city hall painting, the whole building here.
That would be I think we tried to quote it out last year or the year before, and it ended up with a weird quote, and the person that quote, it just wouldn't have worked out. This one would go out for an actual bid to make it competitive, but it would be the paint and the entire exterior of the building, trim and not including interior, we're worried about that.
How about our sign?
Um,
I think our sign is,
The sign
One
has
side.
red around it. I would probably propose to them to see if they can cover that red up and
Yeah.
make it match with the,
Yeah.
with the logo.
yeah,
And I would assume we would work out color options when we figured out who the successful
Correct.
bidder was. So,
I would say we probably need to have the roof shingles replaced first and then have them painted.
so the roof is
Shakes.
rock. Oh, the shake.
the shake.
Cedar
Oh,
shake.
Or whatever they're doing to repair the roof.
I want to say that.
They're just doing a parapet. They're doing very minimal up there. It's just some metal.
Yeah, it's the trim
Okay.
pieces. So they're not touching the rubber membrane or the rock up there. That was something I think you and I were gonna chat about.
Pardon me?
I thought we had hail damage at the community center.
So we have hail well, it hail damaged here, but it just like the weird, yeah, the trim pieces essentially, the aesthetic aspect.
It's just, they're just aesthetic. They do serve a purpose for the water shielding, but
But our main issue is I'm pretty sure we have a hole or two in the membrane on top, possibly. And then Brian and I were gonna chat about that at some point, see what our options were moving forward with figuring this out, because yeah, they didn't include that whole thing in there, the hail didn't damage it.
yeah, it would be nice to update that wood shape look a little bit. If we're gonna paint it up and make it look nice, I think that would be,
And when I originally got the quote, Dan, the individual that we decided to steer with, the reasons, yeah, he mentioned the shape of the cedar around, so if he was mentioning it, I'd imagine others would maybe throw that
So
in as well.
there is not any type of leak or hole in the roof right now due to hail damage?
Due to hail
due to hail damage,
damage,
no.
No, it's just deterioration of the
Yeah.
roof, okay.
rocks getting moved around, walking on the roof, things like that, so.
Okay, we need authorization, we need a motion to authorize to bid the exterior for City Hall painting.
I'll make first motion.
Kevin made the first motion,
I'll second that.
Shirley seconded it, all in favor, say aye.
Right?
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. I see our ladies are here, and, I'm gonna go into executive, I think, here. Can I do that? Okay. I see it's, 8:02, and I need a motion to go into executive.
Motion to go into executive session.
John, you made the first motion to go into executive.
Second.
Karen seconded it. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Paul, you're gonna have to shut her down for a little bit here. We're going into executive at 8:02. Going into executive, give it to you.
Oh, yep, it'd be February 20th.
I'll second that.
And Shirley seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Item 10 is our bills. If you would like to look at those, please. If you have any questions.
And I want to draw attention on the flip side, Dakota Roofing asks for 50% down
I see that.
for the project, so that is on the list as well.
That's pretty normal.
That's, I assume
Is
the
it?
same.
That's pretty normal.
And then he'll be in tomorrow to go over some things, get us on the list and accept the
Does he do painting?
That's all the cities. Yep.
Does he do painting?
I can ask him.
Ask him. Tell him we got a bid going on, you know?
I can sure ask him. I know they definitely seem to be able to do a lot.
Looks like he does, he's a little flexible.
Is Sam doing painting, Brian?
I think just interior.
I'll make the first motion.
Kevin made the first motion to pay the bills for March 4th, 2025.
Second.
Karen seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Item 11 is our first reading of the ordinance 787. For summer salaries,
No, this would be the electric rates.
787.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, amending rates for municipal customers.
So this is, kind of chatted about this when we were doing budget, that WAPA's increasing their rates and the two tiers there. So this first one will be a 3% increase to all the highlighted items you see there. And then a $5 increase to the base to cover the metering, basically that addition to the metering, that's like annual fee, annual service fee. It'll help cover the cost of that. And upon speaking with Paul, we thought it would be in the best interest of the community to offer, for those that are on low-income energy assistance, to receive a credit of $5 per month toward that base bill. So the individuals that are on that lower income will not see that $5 increase on their bill, they instead see the usage increases.
11 or 13 or something like that.
I wanna say it's somewhere in the ballpark of 15 to 20 maybe, not many. But yeah, it'll help offset that increased cost.
Yep.
But other than that, everything else is an increase of 3% across the board, except for the heat storage unit minimum charge and the heat pump minimum charge. They're currently $10 and they'd be going up to $25. Other than that, and then on the back side, there's one scratch out. It's a redundant portion. I don't know how it really got in there. It's under security lights. We're not charging you $50 to reconnect or disconnect your security light at your house. That doesn't happen. So that just got scratched out of there. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that. And then next year there will also be it's either 3 or 4, I'll have to look to be sure, but it's another roughly about the same amount of an increase, but no increase to the base next year. This base is just for the metering aspect.
So this 3% is gonna cover our,
3% will cover the increase from WAPA.
it is.
Yep. And then next year will be the same.
Okay.
The same increase?
Similar, I actually think it might be a little higher. I'd have to go back and look again. I don't know if Paul remembers off the top of his head over there if it was it 4% next year?
Yeah, something, yeah, I think something like
I think it might be a little higher, but nothing like 6 or 7 or anything like that. It'd be about 4-ish.
This is just basically because of the increases we are being
That we're getting,
from
yep, this is down the pipe.
providers.
Yep. WAPA went up in rates, but Heartland did not, and last time I spoke with Kelly, their representative from Heartland, is he anticipates that there will not be an increase when they renew as well, which will be in a few years, and they'll remain steady with, and they're our supplemental power.
Heartland?
Yep,
WAPA's are.
WAPA's our primary, yep.
I guess I'll make the first motion.
Ryan made the first motion to approve ordinance 787.
I'll second it.
Jason seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Number 12, our second reading of ordinance 786, or summer salaries.
Can we go back to 787 just for a second? Can we approve that with the $5 per month toward the base bill for low-income energy assistance? Does that have to be notated?
It's actually,
It's notated.
yep, it's in there.
We're going to do that
Yep,
for those
it's-
customers. Okay.
Yep, it's an additional line
I just
item.
wanted to
Yep.
make sure. Thank you.
And that's, yep, that's under the residential rate there. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, back to 786. This will be our second reading of ordinance 786. And I don't believe there was any corrections, or was there?
Yeah.
On
The
on
only,
the first one?
So,
Or what was that?
Junior teener baseball coach 1, 3,000, and then there is no coach 2.
so, yep, that went up to 3,000, and then I removed, we also didn't hire the Legion coach this year, and the Legion was taking over that, so that has been scratched from that
So
line as
this
well.
one is all proper.
Should be, yes. If we keep that junior team in, if they ended up having one in the future. But I think at this point, the Legion's just kind of handling the Legion.
So we don't have a Legion down here.
Nope, I don't have the
Yeah,
Legion
I
coach
see
on there
that.
at all. Nope.
Okay.
future, if they have two senior coaches, it's 2,000 for the one and 15 for the other one. And we just raised it for him because he's gonna be the only coach this year,
So,
right?
right, there'd be one coach, and if there's two coaches, how that would read is that, they would both get 1,500 that year. So if there are two coaches, they split that $3,000.
Yeah.
Which I think is why we jumped that up, because it made more sense when we split it from.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 786.
What's that?
I'll make the first motion to approve the second reading of 786.
Kevin made the first motion to approve the, second reading of ordinance number 786.
I'll second that.
Excuse me. John seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Item 13, we need to select the equalization meeting date. I won't be here, you guys, this next meeting is in March. You're gonna have to run it.
Thank you.
I'll be getting in town about 9 o'clock. Huh?
I said, so
Feeling
convenient.
a little sick right now.
Jason, you might be up.
Maybe we should change the date of the meeting.
When do you guys wanna do that? Should we do it one night after city meeting, or?
I have it set for after it would follow,
18th.
currently it would follow the normal meeting on the 18th
Oh,
of March.
would it?
Yep, that's how we usually have, yeah.
Okay.
Well, 7:30, 7:45, which kind of when speed.
And if I get home, I can stop down and listen.
Once you get the swing of it.
Okay, then we need a motion to, select March 18th for our, equalization meeting date, so we can let the public know. Need a motion for that.
I'll make the first motion.
Jason made the first motion for March 18th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Shirley seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Are we gonna have to just table this now?
This is just a reminder that those positions are open.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so, yep. Applications are open for baseball coordinator, softball coordinator, girls softball coaches, U8, U12, U14, day baseball, softball coach, concessions manager, public works laborer, park caretaker, cemetery caretaker, assistant, PT, swimming pool manager, swimming pool lifeguards, baseball groundskeepers, and baseball gatekeeper.
Were we gonna remove the assistant part-time? We'll just do the co-managers for this was, then we can probably mention.
Okay, cross that out then. The assistant PT swimming pool manager is crossed out. So, anybody's out there and would like to put an application in, please do. Item 15, June 10th through June 13th, 2025 is school and peer for Doug. What's that, Doug?
Oh, that would be the human resources and finance officers.
Okay. We need a motion to, what are you planning on doing?
I would leave the morning of the 10th. It's in Pierce, so I should be able to shoot down there, rob them there in that morning. I do believe classes will start in the afternoon.
What, you spend the night,
And then spend the night the 10th, it'd be the 10th, 11th, 12th, come back the 13th.
okay.
You have classes at 13th too then?
Then usually leave at, usually done by 1. And it's rough though, when we were at Spearfish last year and we were last classes, so it's sort of long.
Yeah. 6 hours versus 3.
Yeah, it's a little nicer.
I think I would've put that date on my.
I would've just took another day off, went to Deadwood.
Right.
We need a motion to send Doug to, here.
I'll make a motion to send Doug to Human Resource and Plans Officer School in Pierre.
Second.
John made the first motion, Karen seconded it. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. And then we're gonna table our swimming pool or our summer hire recreational employees till next meeting. You need a motion for that?
I'll make the first motion.
Kevin made the first motion,
I'll second that.
Shirley seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried to table that till the 18th. It is 9:14 and I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the first motion.
Ryan made the first motion,
I'll second that.
Shirley seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's carried. It's 9:15 and meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Would you